Hi guys, it's me again, Donatella. Welcome to your end of Gemini 2018 season. So now that we are wrapping everything up, this is your culmination video. And now we're going to explain what that means as we are now into Cancer season. I want to wish all the Cancers out there a very, very happy birthday to you guys all. I love you guys so much. You guys are such amazing friends. You guys are such amazing people. You guys don't get all the credit that you deserve. You guys are exceptional people. You guys are very caring and very understanding, and I'm really happy to know that we are in your season now. Um, as you know, if you guys need my email address, if you guys would like to contact me, would like to share a story, or would like to get a reading, you can definitely email me at Donatella Empress of Swords at gmail.com. And please also remember to like, share, and subscribe. And now, as you know, I take a lot of time into writing notes because I feel energy, I pick it up, I go research it, I dive myself into it more and more so I can really understand what is happening currently at this moment, so that way I can get a sense of what should I explain about this month, what should we talk about this month, so that way as these seasons are going by, because as I told you guys, there's going to be a lot of changes in September, but this solar eclipse that just passed right now, I'm sorry, this full moon that just passed right now, and then we're going to be entering into a solar eclipse. This is going to be the changes that were made from the beginning of this year. Around March, a lot of things happened. Around September, a lot of things happened. Last November, a lot of things happened. There's a lot of things that are going to be happening that are going to make lots of changes. They are going to be the catalyst for the things that are going to be happening in September. So a lot of you have been shifting your energies. You've been seeing different aspects of yourself. You've been trying to free yourself because it is the new age of Aquarius, and I want to explain a little bit more of that too. There is a website that I wanted to also show you about, so that way you guys can get some research. If you guys are interested, I wanted to give you more information on kind of what is going on in the energy. As far as the tarot readings, I'm still doing the tarot readings, the general readings for every month. I just had to make sure that I cleared all the energy, make sure it's perfect and perfected for you. There are times that I have to literally wait for an energy to shift, so that way I can have a clear message, so that way there are no misunderstandings, and it's nothing but pure positive energy, and it's all sent out in the world, so that way everyone in the world can feel and know that there is a sense of hope. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. There's a reason why I'm explaining all this. This video is for all of the zodiacs. So this is all dedicated to all of you guys. And whoever is watching this, I want you to know out there that you are cared for. And during this month, you're really going to start feeling that. So as the time goes by, if this is your first time here, definitely hit subscribe, so that way you can see how this pattern is playing out in your life. And as always, we always have free will. We can always decide what we want to do in our life. But remember, there are options, there are things that you could do that are outside of the box. You don't have to choose anything that would hurt anyone else. You can actually be happy in a way that others can be happy too at the same time. You just have to think outside the box sometimes. And that's what we're going to talk about in my channel. We're going to find that through the general readings. We're going to find that through the end of the month culmination readings. But it's a time where we can come together and talk about the many interesting things that are happening in life right now. And somehow, if you guys have came across the things that I have researched and have found something really interesting that you'd also like to share, that would be the coolest and most exciting thing to see. And I would love that. And learning is always something that it's something that has always interested me. So bring it on, you guys. I love it. It's very exciting. And I feel like knowledge is power, and when we bring that together, it's something that can make you manifest beautiful, amazing things, especially if it's like in a positive energy. It just makes miracles happen. So, like always, I put something together, I write it down at the end of one season to the next, and I'm basically going to explain how that's going to affect us. And I also wanted to get into some other subjects too. And because on the last video, I explained that I was going to talk a little bit more about twin flames and how that will affect us. And again, I want to wish Cancer a very, very happy birthday. I hope that you guys are very blessed and happy. And you guys are very amazing, wonderful people. And I'm so excited that we have finally come to this season as things are becoming much brighter. I want to tell you guys, all of the zodiacs, as I'm filming this today, I hold you all in my heart. I want to tell you all that I wish you happiness, abundance, safety, warmth, protection, good times with family, laughter, confidence, health, and to remember always that life is absolutely beautiful. And it's more beautiful with your authentic self. When you're truly your real self and you don't have to hide it, that's when it's the most beautiful. We are now deep into Cancer season, and as we are in this season, we notice life and the sensitivity of it and how to nurture it. This month we will talk about astrology as well as the twin flames and what that does to everyone. I do want to tell you that during this time you will start noticing more and more things manifesting much more quicker. Whether this may be positive or negative, what I want to tell you is karma is moving much faster, and so is dharma. Karma is the opposite of dharma. Also, we are in retrograde season for 6 different planets. And we just have to be careful and make sure that what we're fixing during this period is precisely what we want in our life. During this time, you're going to start noticing that more and more people will start to be more interested in metaphysical things and health and more like thinking outside the box, thinking different ways of life. You'll be even shocked and surprised that you're finding out more people are into tarot, astrology, energy, chakra, Reiki, other things that are like natural, like going to the forest or nature, things like that. This is going to be a direction that's going to teach us how to learn unconditional love so that the world can change and prosper. I want to tell you that if you've been having problems currently in your relationships, remember that it does take two, and that after Gemini season, when we saw the shadow side of our partners or friends or family members, we also saw the good. It's up to us to decide what we want more of. We also have to understand that 2 partners definitely need to be agreeable in order to be happy, and that starts with honesty. So right now, as we left the season of Gemini, we're right now currently in the season of Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the sign of family, fertility, and motherhood. The moon represents our subconscious world, our emotions, our heart, and the love that we are capable to feel during this lifetime. It is the support of our family in the practical sense and our interpretations as we see it as the feminine parallel to the sun. I think that if the sun was the husband, maybe the moon would be the mother, even though the earth is female. And the reason why I say that is because the moon has cycles. It has cycles like a period, and the sun is like active. It's like, full shine. It's like it makes everything wake up, like snap out of it. And the moon is more like nurturing and like, okay, now it's time to sleep. Now it's time to rest. During this time, we'll think about our mother and our home, the feeling of belonging and support. It is a dim light, a reflection of leading entities. And just as much as it represents all the people in our country, as well as our surroundings, our fertility, it speaks to us in the youngest age and also in the oldest age. It's more about your phase of your sensitivity to your development in the emotions in life. It also represents what we're sentimental about, what our memories are about, and why we are here right now. Um, we have to also learn to stay open enough to accept our heart and our emotions just the way that they are. And hopefully now that Gemini season has passed, we have opened the Pandora box. We have realized what we remove and what we have decided to nurture. We remember how important it is to take care of ourselves, to make sure that we have sun, warmth, water, and a dreaminess or a nurtured way to make things sure that they are secure and comfortable. What is interesting is that there are 6 planets currently in retrograde. And what it means to retrograde is that it goes into reverse to fix. What we think about and have considered into our life, we will go through a karmic soul decision, and especially during the retrograde time. If we have not completed something during retrograde, it will be repeated and come back to us to fix again. But this time we are being tested by 6 different planets, and some of those share more than one sign, zodiac sign, so it's affecting lots of people right now. So when these planets go through retrograde, here's what can happen and what we can prevent. Okay, so be mindful. I'm going to mention the 6 different planets and what they can cause. And if you're aware of this, then you can shift the energy into something that is more opposite. And it's up to you to determine what it is that you can, how you can behave that is opposite. And if you do behave in an opposite way, then you could possibly encounter something that is much more beneficial for you rather than something that would cause you to have more heartache and pain. So when we know exactly what is going on in our energy, we can actually prepare ourselves for a better outcome. Okay, so we have Mars, which is the planet of action and war. That planet is reversed from June 26 to August 2018. That can make us feel moody, impatient, short-tempered, impulsive, and aggressive. We also have Mercury, the planet of commerce and communication, and metal, and it's actually one of the most important signs when we're dealing with connecting with others and having ability to speak in such a way where it actually is a mindful way of thinking, really good understanding. And when it is reversed, our security can kind of feel like it's being questioned, and we're feeling a bit of being alone, being a bit confined, and we feel repetition and routine. You could also feel moments of shyness, worry, overly critical of yourself, all work and no play. You get that kind of feeling. Also, Jupiter is going into reverse from March 23rd to July 10th. There's going to be more of an emphasis upon inner awareness and growth, and where you need freedom and growth, like inside. Like, it's about expansion, and when it's in reverse, it's internal. So your wishes, your dreams that are internal. Saturn is still in retrograde, and it's going to be sitting there exactly until September 6th. This is going to be restructuring our security, our finances, and things that are going to be there for a very long time. Like whatever you plan right now and you're consistent about it, right now is like the time to fix everything. And after September 6th, you're going to see a lot of changes, especially by October or November. Neptune, retrograde 2018, will start on June 18th at 16 degrees in Pisces and ends on November 24th. And during this time, it will also be called the Grand Trine. It can internalize your fears and anxieties by stripping away illusions, dreams, and false realities that have clouded your vision. The destruction of your fantasy world will show those harsh realities you sought to avoid at some stage in the past. So maybe you have kidded yourself about true love, or your financial situation, or your career prospects. But it's going to really make you look at that stuff. It's also time, but right now, for the month of Cancer, it is a very nurturing time. It's a time where you think about family gathering. It's also a time of wanting to be more safer. It's a time that we celebrate 4th of July too as well. But just like it can be that motherly, nurturing love, you can also feel little bit of possessiveness from people, feeling a little bit controlled, constrained, and like maybe overly um, maybe not enough time to not not to explain the time. What I'm trying to say is that during this time, you could feel like you're kind of like overwhelmed, overwhelmed still by these energies, and it could be like a good overwhelm, but it's like this overly motherly protection kind of feeling. So it's better to understand this cycle and understand that everything is reversing back for a huge cleanup to prepare for the next year. A lot of changes will transpire within the next 7 years, so it is better that we are prepared, because the next coming energies will also affect us, and unless we are prepared, excuse me, sorry, we won't be able to know how to expect what is to come if we are nervous and scared and fearful. So we have to make sure that we are confident, we are alert, we are aware, and we know that there's always a positive outcome for us, that there's always other options to make ourselves happy. Now, if you are going through something and it is unbearable, please make sure that you take the time to nurture yourself. And if you need any help, remember there's always resources. That if you seek professional help, whether if it is a doctor, a psychologist, the National Suicide Hotline, a best friend, a family member, or any type of professional help you may seek, it is highly advised that you do take care of yourself and nurture yourself. Also remember that prayer is also highly advised, especially during difficult times. The past few months, I spoke with a few zodiac signs about different celebrities that were also committing suicide. And I was explaining to them that the current energy that we are living in is not the same that it once was. It could be very intense sometimes. So I'd like to really emphasize how important prayer is. It is very important that at this time to make sure that what your soul wants is really spoken about, that you are really living your truth, because it will affect you. It's affecting a lot of people that are not living in their truth. There is a need for happiness, especially during this time. People are starting to really express what makes them happy, and a lot of people I'm noticing they're really wanting that connection and that gathering with others, but when we want relationships with others, whether it's our partner that we love, or it's our family members, we also have to remember that people that are the most closest are the ones that are compassionate for each other, that take consideration for each other. So it shouldn't have to be a burden as long as it's an exchange, if that makes any sense. And we are living in a completely different time, so it's no coincidence that you were born at this time and at this age. I do believe that we did pick a specific time to be born, and that's why we are here right now. And I also believe that we all harness a different special type of gift. We all have something to give to the world as a whole, and our frequencies are as long as they're higher, what will happen is that the people that are around us will be affected, and then once those people are affected, they will be affecting many other people that are surrounding them. We will see a lot of positivity flourishing around us, and the more that we help others, we will be less in our self-pity. The more that we see accomplishment and actually helping others and seeing the smile on other people's faces, we will be less concerned with the negative faces, because we're actually taking the action to make the improvements in other people's lives. And as you do that, you'll see the automatic help that you never thought in a million years that would happen. You just see these miracles suddenly happening for you just because you took in that extra time to help people out in your life. During this time, we are noticing that karma is moving much faster and faster as we go through this time. We understand that the reason why we are here on earth today was to stand up and take a challenge and change the energy on the new earth. So that's what we are all challenged right now. That's what I believe, that during this time while we are born, there's such a shift in energy, and people are just tired of the restriction, and people are tired of the oppression. And it's a time where people shift, but that shift doesn't come easily. Sometimes it comes at a price, because you have to speak your truth, and then there's sometimes an argument, but you have to find where there is some kind of meeting in the middle where you guys understand each other. Through the past centuries, people have suffered immensely, and now the times will change, as it had changed back in 2012, when the age of Aquarius had started, which is the same time that also people have said that the Mayan calendar had ended. And also, if you're thinking that those years are not matching up, even if they say that it cannot be possible that it is calculating to the age of Aquarius right now, even if you don't think that that's accurate time-wise, you could feel the different changes of the energy right now. You can kind of sense like this awareness, even almost start sensing more of a psychic awareness. You start feeling other people's energy as time goes by. You're starting to notice animals more. You're understanding trees more. You're starting to understand that there's a vibrance. There's life in almost everything around you. If you guys like to know more information about the age of Aquarius, there's a lot of websites about it. It's also known as the Golden Age, the Matrix, but you'd find a lot of information interesting about it, because they're saying that there's going to be a lot of changes in the world that will be very positive eventually. And one thing on one of the websites that I looked up, it was explaining that the world is currently collapsing. And as more people awaken and open up their doorways, they will realize their true selves, and the world will change, as it has back on December the 21st, 2012. We entered the photon belt, which surrounds the center of the universe. The photon energy will be with us for some time. All of the energies around us are lifting up. Everyone can feel it. Some embrace this new light, some decide to leave and come back another day. There is much more information to share. The foods that you eat, your inner thoughts on everything and everyone, and your environment all play a role in how bright that inner light shines. Everyone is at a different place in their journey. Recognizing where you are on yours is a great place to start to reconnect with your inner bright light. So currently right now, most people are going through a cleanup period right before the next shift comes in. And the shift doesn't just change instantly. You'll notice that there's eclipse, there will be solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, there's shifts in the moon. And like I advised, that there's 6 planets currently right now going to retrograde, forcing us to completely look at what is needed for us to not repeat as the same patterns, so that way we could live a better life. When I brought up the subject of twin flame, I wanted to let you know whether if it's a person who is your soulmate or your karmic, you will feel a psychic awareness which is much more than you have ever felt in the past. A soulmate will be much easier to deal with in life, and I do believe that since the magic number is usually 12, we are all granted 12 soulmates in a lifetime. Now, whether they're lovers, family members, friends, you'll see a very huge, deep connection with them. However, as time progresses, you will understand that a twin flame is here, and it's a split of your soul, the yin to your yang. When it comes to a twin flame, you will feel bounded to them for the goodness of earth. Certain souls that have entered Earth have planned to come to the world to save it, to make a change. And then there are steps that heal our souls so that we don't have to go through this cycle into karmic patterns again. As we enter this time from the period of 2012 to the next 16 years, there will be a lot of people that will meet their other half, their twin flame, but will understand that this connection is like no other. You will find comparisons like no other. You will also find that a twin flame will have all the missing opposite gifts that you don't have. In the same sense, the twin flame will be like a mirror. You will know and understand the more time that you are apart. You will allow that space for to allow yourself to see things more clear. You will always find yourself drawn and find it even terrifying to love someone so much unconditionally. The soul is really truly being tested to make sure what it is that you really want. But to understand something very important is that it's about your journey. It's not just only about your twin flame, but it's also having the chance to see the reflection of your own light. Because when you come together, that flame is even much brighter. But when you see your opposite end, especially at a different place, you have a chance then to really truly see who you are. A source of your soul, and then also understanding humanity in such a way when you are together. In a twin flame union, you will find your soul growing faster than you have ever seen it before. You will also be tested more than you've ever seen it before. You might feel that you are brought into the highest highs to even the lowest lows. But as you understand how to manage this energy, you will form the feminine energy and the masculine energy into one. Once these are balanced energies, you will feel a less need of aggression and emotional reaction, and find more balance in yourself when those two elements are balanced out. Now understand, whatever you do in this lifetime will definitely have a cause and effect. Whether you're hurting someone else or an animal or even down to the smallest bug, it can definitely affect everything that you do in your life. Now when we're thinking that sometimes also we're thinking that we're helping others when truly we maybe are enabling them. We have to try to see things at all angles because it can affect us later on. And like I said, karma is moving much faster now. So we have to really understand what we are trying to do. We have to be in our truth. We have to make sure that what we are planning for the next 7 to 16 years is exactly the lifestyle that we are creating today. Lastly, I wanted to share something with you. And this is really important. My fellow friends, we have had time to see the worst, and we have had time to see the best. We have seen who has been there for us, and we have seen who just keeps assuming that we'll fail. It's time that we prove it to ourselves, and not just others, that we are in fact capable of doing anything. And anything meaning the goodness for humanity as well as ourselves. I want to thank you all, and I want to share something very important to you. And this is, someone had shared this, someone very, very special to me, to my heart, had shared this with me a while back. And it basically, what it is it is a way where you can analyze yourself to see where you are in the pyramid of your frequency. And it's called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it basically shows you psychologically where you're at. And I printed kind of what it looks like, and it's a pyramid of different colors. So you have red, where like this is your worst, you know, this is the worst, and then this is when you're ascending higher and higher and higher. This is when you're feeling your best, your greatest, and this is your worst. So I'm sorry it's not so clear, but I'm going to read it out to you guys so you guys can understand it a little bit. Okay. So on the bottom, on the most basic need, and you guys could look this up, and it's, again, the name is called Maslow Hierarchy of Needs. So on the bottom, the red is saying the psychological needs are the most important, actually. And what that is that we need to be able to feel like we are able to breathe. The other thing that's important is food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. So for some people, you know, that's just like your basic needs, and some people don't have this. So when you see that you're able to breathe, when you know that you have food, when you know that you have water and shelter and clothing and you're able to sleep, that puts you at the next level, and that actually reminds you of how grateful you are, because at any point, any of these things can be taken away from us at any point. And when you start realizing, hey, these are basic needs, that there's thousands or even millions of people in the world that don't even have maybe 2 or 3 of these things on this item. But when you start realizing that you have these things, you start feeling a little bit better, and then you start realizing, hey, you know what? I'm not even at the red. I'm at the orange. So let's go see what the orange says. The orange is talking about your safety and your security. It's talking about your health, like, are you healthy right now? Are you going to your doctor visits? Are you doing everything you can? Are you emotionally healthy? Are you physically healthy? Your employment, are you working? Are you feeling good? Financially, and your property. Do you feel good about the property that you have? Whether you feel good about your car, or your house, or, you know, your items. Also, something that's very important is, how do you feel about the safety of your family and your social stability? So that's safety and security in orange. It's health, employment, property, family, and social stability. The next one is yellow. It's friendship, family, intimacy, and sense of connection. That's the yellow one right there. When we get to green, it's talking about self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be a unique individual. And finally, the last one is self-actualization, morality, creativity, spontaneity, acceptance, experience, purpose, meaning, and inner potential. See, all of these things are very important to us as human beings. And as we take all of these steps to make sure that we go to the next step, it's really important that you understand that you cannot skip a step to get to the next step to feel completely full. Now you could say, you know what, Donna? I don't feel completely healthy. I have some kind of condition. I've had this condition for all of my life. Feeling upset or feeling hurt or feeling hopeless will take you more in a place of that. There are things that we have opportunities, like especially right now, in this day of time, we have a huge capability of researching, finding different medicines, finding different natural things that we can use to heal us. It has been proven by many different researchers, and I'm sure you guys can find also many different documents or documentaries that have explained how natural healing can also work too. So sometimes it's just thinking outside of the box. You know, there's always something that's hope too. Hope can really change things. Hope can make things amazing for you. And I've seen hope really heal people, really change people's lives, make miraculous things happen. And if you're going through a time where you're not working, or maybe your family is struggling, or maybe your health is not doing good, the best thing that you could do right now is have hope for it and rise out of that orange stage. And once you rise out of the orange stage, then it's much easier to focus on the family, the friendship, the intimacy, and the sense of connection. But just remember to be aware of all of your needs. And remember that everyone around you, sometimes they could be moody because these little things are not taken care of. Sometimes people just, I'm not giving an excuse for bad behavior or disrespect or anything like that. I believe that everybody deserves respect and everybody should treat each other in a very respectful way and, in a very considerable way, for the best of humanity. But what I want to really emphasize is to make sure that you nurture yourself, to make sure that at least that these basic needs are taken care of before we worry extremely about the next thing. We have to make sure that at least our basic needs are taken care of so that way we can get to the next thing and not worry about the thing beneath it, what is missing, and just have it all. We can have the whole pie. Okay, so when I get to next month, and I do the next month, end of the month culmination video, when we get to the next season, we're going to be doing, I think it's going to be Leo season. Yeah, that's right. When we get to that time, I want to talk to you guys about this pyramid again, but we're going to talk about it, how it affects in a relationship. So we're going to talk about more about this and how to raise your frequency and where it takes you there. Now, these steps right here, these are very basic steps. Now, if you look it up, you're going to find them having different descriptions or explanations on the different ones. But you can also look up the ones that are they have more detail and more explanation on what they are, and some of them look a little bit different. But this is actually just, it's just very basic, explains, our basic needs, and it can really help us if we focus on what our needs are so that way we can get to the next stage. Okay, guys, I just want to thank you guys so much. I will see you guys very soon. I'm going to start uploading the new July readings for all the zodiac signs, for all the general readings. If you guys would like to reach me, please email me at Donatella, Empress of Swords. I'd love to hear from you. If you guys would like to get a tarot reading, please also let me know in the email too. And I just want to say I love you guys. I wish everything the best for you all. And I'm praying for all of you so that all of your dreams can all come true. God bless, and I wish the best for you all. Take care.